No fighter commanded more fear in the ring than Sugar Mahone, a 9-division world champion with 85 wins and 0 losses, all by knockout. He cemented his place as one of the greatest boxers of all time. He was an undisputed champion in 4 divisions, a force of nature who crushed his opponents with ruthless precision. But the world had found a challenger, Alexander Vadeev, an undefeated 6th division champion with 65 wins and 0 losses, all by knockouts. Their showdown was inevitable. The fight of the century. In Madison Square Garden, the fight world held its breath. The bell rang, and within seconds, both warriors unleashed a barrage of punches, testing each other's speed, power, and endurance. The first round was evenly matched, but in the second, Mahone's infamous knockout power came into play. A devastating left hook, followed by a crisp right uppercut, sent Vadeev crashing to the canvas. He struggled to his feet, but Mahone pounced. A flurry of merciless combinations sent Vadeev down again. The fight was over. Sugar Mahone had once again proven his supremacy. As Mahone stood in the ring, sweat dripping from his brow, reporters surrounded him. Everyone wanted to know, who was next? Would he fight another champion? Someone worthy of his legacy? Mahone took the microphone and uttered a name that left the world in disbelief. Rocky Molino. The crowd fell silent. Then laughter erupted. Rocky Molino? A washed-up fighter with 0 wins and 3 losses? Was this some kind of joke? But Mahone's expression was dead serious. Reporters scrambled to find the man Mahone had just called out. They tracked him down in a rundown gym on the outskirts of Philadelphia, where he worked as a boxing coach for underprivileged kids. Rocky had long retired from the ring, and when reporters asked him about Mahone's challenge, he refused outright. "I have no business in a boxing ring anymore," Rocky said, shaking his head. But then Mahone himself arrived at the gym with an offer. $1 million donated to the kids if Rocky accepted the fight. Rocky looked at the young fighters who trained barefoot, wearing tattered gloves. With a deep sigh, he accepted. They call this fight the underdog versus the GOAT. The boxing world erupted in debates. Why was Mahone doing this? Was this an easy exhibition fight before retirement? When the fight night arrived, the atmosphere was electric. The arena was packed, expecting an effortless victory for Mahone. The moment Rocky Molino's name was announced, the crowd laughed. Then the bell rang. Mahone came out aggressive, throwing 5 deadly punches, but Rocky dodged each one with impossible speed. The laughter died down. Then Mahone landed a crushing right hook, his signature knockout punch. Rocky didn't even flinch. Gasps filled the arena. Something was wrong. Round after round, Rocky absorbed Mahone's most devastating blows, yet he remained standing. He dodged, countered, and frustrated the undefeated champion. The crowd, once skeptical, was now on its feet. Then, in round 10, the unthinkable happened. Rocky launched a relentless combination. Uppercuts, body shots, hooks. Mahone staggered. Then Rocky delivered a crushing right hand. Mahone's legs wobbled, his arms dropped. The undefeated champion crashed to the canvas. The referee began to count. Mahone couldn't get up. The world was speechless. How had this unknown fighter just defeated the greatest of all time? Then, days later, the truth emerged. Investigative reports uncovered a stunning revelation. Rocky Molino had an undefeated amateur boxing record of 95 wins, including a notable victory against a young Sugar Mahone. Then came the testimonies from the 3 professional boxers who had defeated Rocky. Rocky Molino's 3 career losses were not failures. They were acts of honor. His first loss was against Johnny Morales, a fading veteran whose young daughter was watching him fight for the last time before she passed away from cancer. Rocky saw the tears in the little girl's eyes. Instead of crushing her father's spirit, he went down on purpose, letting Morales have one final victory. His second loss was a robbery. He fought Tornado Brown, dominated the fight, knocked him down 6 times, and still lost on the scorecards. Corrupt judges had stolen his victory. Rocky never protested. He simply walked away from the sport. His third loss was years ago against Sugar Mahone himself. Back then, Mahone was a reckless young fighter, absorbing too much damage. refusing to back down. Rocky saw the future in him, the greatness he could achieve. With Mahone on the verge of permanent injury, Rocky took a dive, pretending to be knocked out, to save Mahone's career. This was Mahone's second loss to Rocky Molino, the first in their amateur bout, and now again in the professional ring. A final act of recognition. Sugar Mahone hadn't taken the fight to return a favor. He took it to prove, once and for all, that he was truly the GOAT of boxing. Only one fighter stood in his way. Not Vadiv, not any reigning champion. It was always Rocky Molino. So Mahone challenged the man the world had forgotten. And when he fell to the canvas in the 10th round, it wasn't just his body that hit the floor. It was his ego. The moment the referee counted 10, a hush swept through the arena. And then, applause. Not for Mahone, but for Rocky. The crowd chanted the name Rocky repeatedly. As Mahone sat on the canvas, he looked up at his old rival, standing tall, still breathing heavily, but dignified, humble, and calm. Rocky extended a hand to help Mahone up, and Mahone took it. Now, after suffering his only professional loss, Mahone stood humbled. In the post-fight press conference, Mahone faced the cameras and said, "The world has called me the greatest, but the truth is, I was always second best. Rocky Molino is the real champion. He always was. Tonight I lost, but I lost to the greatest fighter I've ever known. Not because of what he did in this ring, but because of the man he is outside it. Rocky Molino is the true champion. He's the real GOAT, not me." And with that, the myth of invincibility was shattered, but something greater was born. With the prize money, Rocky built a state-of-the-art boxing academy for underprivileged youth. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was attended by many. Even Mahone was there, standing beside him like a brother. Kids now train in brand-new rings with professional gear. On the gym wall, a giant mural of Rocky Molino reads, "Greatness isn't just in how hard you hit, it's in how deeply you care." Years passed, and Rocky never returned to the spotlight. But every week, he could be seen in that same gym, wrapping gloves on kids, teaching them to throw punches with discipline and heart, and sharing stories not of fame or glory, but of compassion, respect, and sacrifice. Stay with us for another incredible story. Just click on the next video. Join our community of story lovers. Hit that subscribe button today. Your opinion matters. Tell me, how did this story inspire you? Thanks for watching. Share this video with someone who could use a little inspiration today.